finally.
No,
Barring some technical difficulties, I believe we are live now.
All right,
So
good
you're
angle. All right, we're tuning in.
I think we're here.
Yep.
Oh, you're able to get yours up?
Minor technical difficulties, but we've got it all figured out.
We think
Oh, PJ, you're on up there too? Okay, good.
it's on. I'm just not sure.
All right.
I'm not seeing.
We're gonna wait for a few people to sign on before we get going here. We're up here at the cabin. What do we eat today?
Joey, that is Joey.
See, look at that.
Yeah.
Hold up. Let me get a close up of that. Tell me if you can see it. Yes. Got homemade venison chili from Route 66 Smokehouse again. Really good. Venison chili. Little spicy, not too bad. I can't handle real spicy stuff.
I'm not a big spice. I like spicy, but not hot.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the purpose of spices?
I think there's a lot of people that wouldn't call that chili if it's not hot.
Spaghetti sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got a lot to talk about. We'll be an hour. Try to cover everything. Catch you up to speed with what's going on. And what we're looking to do up here at the Capital District Sportsman Center. We'll start in 1 minute. Wait for a few more people to sign on, then we'll get going. Van Aiken. Art Elwell. Artie. What's up, Artie? Gary Crandall's on. Aaron Wilkie. Aaron, you had a question for me. We'll get to that later. What was it?
And I'm looking off into the deep blue here.
Deep blue.
Aaron, what's it? Hang on. Because you compare surveys and such. Yeah. Yeah, they're biologists. They do take do some surveys. You're talking about with the harvest or during the season or out of season? Would you be more specific? All right. You looking good?
As good as we're getting.
What's that?
And we're just trying to get
I'm just trying to get so it comes up on TV.
Okay.
I'm not having much.
All right.
Much luck.
I don't understand it.
All right, let's get going here.
Show on the road.
Here we go, from the mountaintops of Grafton in beautiful Rensselaer County. We're live at the Capital District Sportsman Center at the cabin. Myself, Brian Pizzeri. To my right, Penny Spezio, Terry Gifford, and the man with the beard, PJ High.
You know, when I look in the mirror, it's not that gray as it looks when I look at this thing.
You prefer pepper.
Yeah.
Tonight, once again, thank you, Route 66, for providing a big pot of venison chili. It was absolutely delicious.
Yes, it was.
Randy Mallow, Route 66 Smokehouse, and that's 195 Main Street, Wine and Skill, right on Route 66. You have a menu there, right?
Yep.
Just read off a few things, show them what, they do a lot of, I think Randy's up to, 450 venison orders already.
Yeah. So
What kind of venison stuff do they have?
sausage, they have breakfast, sweet Italian, bratwurst, onion and pepper, broccoli and cheddar, jalapeno cheddar, feta spinach, hot, fresh kielbasa, and then smoked products they can do like pepperoni, sausage, knackwurst, bratwurst, your salamis, and then smoked snack sticks. So we've had the teriyaki, and what else did you get, PJ? They were really good.
I got the sausage. I got the pepperoni sticks. which are phenomenal.
They were really good. And then can do hot dogs and then gourmet burgers. So I stopped there today and ordered a bunch of stuff and got a couple of burgers to try. And then they had some nice prepared meals too. I got a eggplant pie, which I haven't had a chance to eat yet.
It looked pretty good.
It looked really good. And a stuffed portobello mushroom.
One of my favorite, the burgers, gourmet burgers, the blue cheese and black peppercorn. They're unbelievable. So thanks again, Route 66 Smokehouse, for your generosity.
Can't thank you enough. I mean, that's some delicious food.
Okay, Terry's the guest tonight. Let's talk about our past classes, events, projects, things that we've done.
Yeah, this past weekend, we were fortunate enough to get the invite from Grafton Lake State Park. They had their Cabin Fever event.
Yeah.
Don McCabe and Terry and myself were up at the lake, and we did some ice fishing demos.
Now, what lake were you on?
Right up at Grafton, right at the
Long
state
Lake,
park.
on the beach area? Okay.
And thank you to Grafton Lakes. They plowed us a nice path right down to the beach.
In a spot where the ice shanty's at.
Yeah, a spot to set up there.
Now, didn't they start off the whole event with the polar plunge?
Yes.
How many people? I didn't see you. I was looking for you.
There was a lot. I stayed with the ice fishing stuff. I would have jumped in the water. When I'm ice fishing, I'd rather stay on top of you. But I would say there's probably a couple hundred people between standing around there. I'm not sure how many went in. They were a couple hundred yards away.
I was watching Spectrum News 9, and they showed the polar plunge, and it showed going in, and you see people coming out. Some were only knee deep.
Yeah.
And one guy had a Spider-Man suit on.
Yeah.
He went all the way in.
Yeah. No, it was. It was a really great event. We talked to people. I guess we set up probably about 10:30-ish or so. People really started to come in around 11. And we talked with people right through 3:30.
That's awesome.
There was always somebody there.
Yeah, it was constant flow of people walking over through.
Yeah, one of the best. There was a couple that came from the south.
Oh, yeah.
And they came up and they were asking some questions about ice fishing. And Don was showing some other types of fish and stuff, and I was showing some different stuff. And the one lady said to me, she goes, you guys really do this. And I'm like, yeah. She goes, I always thought this was a myth.
Ice fishing?
Yeah. Well,
They're
she's
from
from
the
the
South.
south. She goes, I just thought it was something that people talked about. I didn't realize that people actually do it.
Did she ever been on the ice?
I know. It cracked a couple times, and there was a few people that were a little bit on the
So
it really was a good day.
So
we need to try.
Tracy Burdick, hi. Tracy. So what did you guys set up? And what were you doing?
We set up five tip ups, and I have a sonar unit.
Kids love.
Yeah, the kids really like the song.
So you guys are more set up as a demonstrational,
Yes.
showing people how to set up your tip ups.
Yep.
Dig your hole.
We showed them how it worked.
How to cut the hole.
Yeah, the different ways we showed Don was showing people where it started with a spud.
Yeah.
That's how we used to make our holes.
Yeah.
And the hand off are coming out. And I didn't bring a gas off. Right now I have an auger for my cordless drill.
Yeah.
Works just fantastic. It doesn't weigh anything. I don't have to bring gas. It just works well. So we showed them all three of those. We had some tip ups out for demos and showed them how that worked and the bait.
And it just makes me think about like when we did a Hunter 101.
Yeah.
We'll talk about doing the turkey. We'll get to that later 101. But a lot of people
We should do
ice fishing. They have no clue.
Right. The biggest
What kind of
thing
gear
is,
do you get?
yeah,
You know, what do you do now? You have a hole in the ice. How do we even set a tip up?
right.
What is a tip?
Sound hole.
What's a hand line?
A lot of questions that we got was how many tip ups can you set up?
Yeah.
You know, and it's 7 lines.
7 lines. Yeah.
You know,
Which include hand lines.
Right. Well, you can have 3 jigs. For New York State, they changed it from 2 to 3. Like for freshwater fishing, you could only have 2 hand lines. Now you can have 3. But I didn't like that rule change.
Yeah. No, it's it. I mean, I used to fish a lot of tip ups. I don't really that much on them anymore. I more or less jig.
Yeah.
Just because perch are just a fantastic eating fish.
Yeah.
So I usually just try to target perch. But you know, with the sonar, you could see my jig, and a lot of people really, they like that part. There was a fish on my screen for hours.
So no kidding.
Could not get that fish to bite, but it was hard. I'm not making excuses, but trying to do a demo. That's all I wanted to do was to hook that fish, bring it up so people could see it, you know. And it wasn't towards the end of the day.
Probably a trout.
We're just picking up, and I just left Don. I said, Don, I'll go start picking up the tip ups. I said, but I'm going to give that fish just one more chance. I went over, I didn't jig that thing 2 or 3 times. Bam!
What was it?
It was just a sun fish. Just to be able to bring that fish out would have been nice. I mean, we had a couple young kids were there. They were trying to jig it there for a while.
But you had mentioned, talking earlier about it. How you were out there for how long?
We were out there from 10:30 in the morning. We got off the ice probably 4.
And you had no breaks.
No.
You had this.
We got Grafton State Park. They gave us some meal tickets, but we didn't have a chance to go eat.
That's a good thing.
It was a great day. It really was. And my hat's off to Grafton State Park. They did a fantastic job with that.
Yeah, they do a lot of those events.
Yes.
Yeah.
Plenty of people in the parking lot telling people where to go, parking cars.
Yeah. The search and rescue was there.
I saw the dog.
The hounds were there.
Yeah.
There was all sorts of stuff. That's the stuff that I like to do. I hate ball.
People were out snowshoeing, riding snowmobiles.
Yeah, they were cross country skiing and hiking, and
Nice.
I don't know what the final count was that people came in, but there had been at least 500.
Yeah, throughout the day, there's probably more.
I mean, I'm just throwing out a guess, but I'd say probably at least 500 to 1,000. Some people went through.
Nice.
It's a good day for it, too.
It was very cold in the morning.
Just like a week before that, we weren't even sure if we were going to have ice.
Right.
Yeah. Now, how much ice was there?
There was 10 to 12 inches.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that was our most recent event.
Yes.
So what do we have? We want to talk about classes coming up and events, projects coming up. So we want to just talk about the classes that we have coming up.
Yeah, our next one is going to be February 18th. Steve Jackson, our local forest ranger, is going to put on a map and compass review, which I actually signed up. I signed up for it because, he knows a lot more about that than what I do. I mean, I can use a compass to keep in a direction, but as far as to navigate my compass, you need some training.
And that class is limited to 20 registrants at this point.
Yes.
So
That's
that's on the page. Yep, there'll be a flyer. And then if you go to our website, cdsc.education, go under upcoming events, and you can register right online.
And I believe we are almost halfway full for that class, so if you want in on that class, you probably ought to get in and get signed up.
And it's free. Free.
Yeah,
It's
free.
Free event.
Donations are welcome to the center.
So that's 5 to 8, February 18th, 5 to 8.
Yes.
Okay, map and compass seminar. And Don is going to be coordinating it. The instructor will be Ranger Jackson, Forest Ranger from the DEC. Okay.
And then our next one is going to be the very next day.
The snowshoe,
19th.
okay.
That's
How about age and what's that?
age. That's going to be all age groups, from young right up to adults. It's a beginner type class. It wasn't until I was talking to the man who's going to put on the class that I realized how much there is to it.
So it's not just strapping
It's
on
not
shoes
just-
and going?
No, it's not.
No?
No, there's a whole lot. There's a whole lot to it that I was not aware of.
He will have snowshoes there.
There is
If you have snowshoes or girl snowshoes, please bring them, but we will have snowshoes available.
right. There is going to be some snowshoes here, and that's part of the thing that I didn't know. There's size to each person, and different types of snows, and what are there's a whole lot to it that he's going to cover. And I think it's a good place for any beginner. Before you go out, he did recommend do not go buy snowshoes for this event, because he would like to talk to you about the snowshoes first before you buy. We will have some here when you register. That's the same site, the CDSD.
Education.
We're going to try to put a link in there that if you have snowshoes you're going to bring, fill in that you're going to bring them. That'll give us a gauge on how many pairs we're going to need.
So the snowshoe, introduction for snowshoe on the 19th, is that on our Facebook page yet?
It's not on the Facebook page. We're finalizing the flyer next couple days, and
Okay.
we'll start posting that.
So by this week it'll be up. And
It should be up. It should be up this week on the page.
the registration on the website.
Website,
Yes.
yeah, next
Okay.
day or so.
All right, so far we're looking at Map and Compass February 18th, the snowshoe February 19th, and then we're going to be looking at April.
One of my favorites.
Here we go.
We're going to put together a turkey hunting 101. And what this class is going to be designed is for the new people, the new people that want to start. There's a ton of stuff out there. We talked about
Terry, turkey hunt. I mean,
Yeah.
There's, like you were saying, there's a ton of different stuff you can use between blinds, calls, guns, shot.
where do you set up?
the animal.
Where do you set up? Yeah, set up for them. And so we're gonna have some really good people available for that. We're gonna have
So we're setting that up for April because obviously May is spring turkey.
Right.
So
We wanted to make sure we got that in before the youth, because the youth season this year,
yeah,
not off the top of my head, it's
the weekend right before opening.
the weekend before, maybe 2 weekends before.
So for this Turkey 101, who are our instructors?
Myself is going to be there, Terry,
Terry and PJ,
Tony Rice,
Tony Rice.
and Tyler Harrington from Cook
The
Hollow.
Cook Hollow Gang.
Cook Hollow.
Tyler.
Um,
All right. I tell you, I heard Tyler is probably one of the best callers around. Turkey hunters.
He shoots some awful nice birds pretty consistently.
Yeah.
a
So-
lot of travel for birds.
Yeah, his father, Don, they traveled quite a bit. Yeah.
So does Tony Rice. I
Does he?
mean, he'll a good turkey hunter is just like a good deer hunter. A good deer hunter will shoot nice deer consistently year after year. A good turkey hunter does the same thing.
Yeah.
I happen to get lucky more than I'm good at it, I guess.
More than consistency.
Yeah,
It works.
You gotta spend the time to feel.
So this class is April 9th.
Yes. And I believe
Turkey 101. That'll be posted when?
we'll have some flyers probably in the next couple weeks for that.
Okay.
We're probably going to hold that one in the gym, just because the sheer amount of stuff.
Okay.
Between blinds and
Hands on.
different shotguns and different loads and calls and decoys. And we want to touch base on all that stuff. You know, the turkeys, I go on and on forever for turkeys because I like turkey hunting that much. But it's they're a very smart bird, and the only way you're going to really learn how to own the turkey hunt is go out and screw up a few times. You know, and there's a lot of tricks that the guys that are going to be at this class are going to be able to teach you. You know, it should be a really good event.
Now you do like in the spring, you do in the fall as well, like mentorship. You take out youth hunting.
I would
I
like.
know Terry, you do the same
for whitetail.
for deer. How about you for
I-
turkey?
I do a lot of. I like to do spring youth. I like to bring youth out.
So part of this class, I'm assuming it'd be nice to have maybe some kids or people looking for.
Yeah, or even parents that are looking to get their kids out.
Yeah.
I brought parents and kids out to get together on numerous occasions.
Okay, good.
You know, and like years ago, we brought this one young man out, and his dad wanted him to go, and they've been hunting them for since. I mean, they came from a family that didn't hunt, and now they're a family that hunts.
Yeah.
You know, and
Good point.
you know, you might go out and hunt once or twice, and then decide not to. And that's all right too.
I remember back, when I first came over to the county, you would say, hey, I'm going to have a couple of kids out hunting. Can you just happen to swing in a uniform and let them, see how that
That
works
was a
as well?
secret to all those kids. I'm like, see, you never know when a game war's going to stop. That's why you need to do things right.
Yeah.
Just gave it away.
And that really worked out well.
Yeah.
You know, it really worked out just to reinforce the fact, that you're not there to give them a hard time. You're there to make sure they're doing it right.
So when you do have a class, I'll come in uniform while I'm working and do the blog questions and answers and interact as well.
The biggest thing I see with turkey hunting is just, it's the biggest thing with deer hunting, with ice fishing, is being safe. And that's
Don't stalk turkeys.
no, you're, it's just not. You want to know your target and what's beyond it, and that just goes without saying. But it's only a turkey.
That's right. So we covered, let's go over, so the class is a map and compass. See a few people just signed on. Make sure you guys, what are our website?
CDSC.education, and then go under current events.
Okay.
No.
Put her on the spot.
Current events are
Upcoming events.
Upcoming events, map and compass seminar, February 18th, 5 to 8 with Ranger Jackson. Snowshoe, February 19th.
Yes.
Introduction for snowshoeing, the 19th.
What's the time on the February 19th? Do we know that yet?
Oh, the 19th.
That'll be out on fall.
That'll be coming on the Facebook page and the website. And April 9th, Turkey 101 with PJ, Terry, Tony Rice, and Tyler Harrington from the Cook Hollow Gang up in Center Cambridge, my old stomping grounds. That's April 9th. About projects. You want to get into that?
Go on projects.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of things in the works here. We're going to be doing a lean-to room that we're going to try to. We're not going to try to. We're going to tailor towards the hiking, the mountain
biking, snowshoeing,
Bird watching.
bird watching, yeah.
watching. And like I said before on these is we want all user groups to be involved up here. I walk into this cabin room and this is the stuff that I do, so I feel at home when I'm in this room. We want every different user group to have their own room and to feel at home in that room. We want them all under the one roof.
Another group in Pittstown State Forest has a fair amount of the mountain bikers.
Mountain biking, yeah.
Yeah.
The mountain bikes, yes.
Geocaching.
Geocaching, yes. All that. geocaching, that's a lot of fun. We did a lot of that after we had that class this summer.
Yeah. You know, when we talk about, we recently, you know, DEC acquiring all this new state land. And we're talking upwards almost, I think, 35,000 acres of state total.
In our
In
In Rensselaer County alone.
Just in Rensselaer County.
The resource.
yeah, I mean, it's a, you know, the 35,000 acres, it sounds like a lot, but until you start walking it and actually start going in those chunks of woods, it's tremendous.
It is.
It's a huge amount of land.
I've been on searches just right here in the Grafton Plateau.
Yeah.
It's a remote area.
Yeah.
Once you get back.
We've had lost hunters. We're up in the peaks. They go down a few guts. You come to a wetland, a swamp. So you head south, think you're going to skirt around it. But guess what? The wetland turns too.
Goes out. Yeah.
You're turned around before you know it.
It's happened to me.
Oh yeah, the Taconic Crust Trail. How long is that?
I think that's close to 30.
It goes quite a
Yeah.
ways, all the way down to Massachusetts.
Oh yeah, it skirts that line the whole.
Down in this round top, in the Stephentown, right to the Mass line there.
Yeah.
And obviously it's border Massachusetts on the east side of the county.
Yeah, and they're picking up more lands that are going to be attached to that as well.
Yeah.
Um,
So talking about the lean-to,
yes.
what's the other thing we're thinking adding to that for the county with the ranger station?
Oh yeah, it'd be nice to have a ranger station here. We'd love to have, and at some point in time, I think we're trying to figure out how that's going to work. Is a whole, say a nice sized wall map.
Of the county, you know, all the state access property, all the public access for the state land property that's just right here in Rensselaer County is, and the stuff that's going to be coming up. So 35,000 acres right here in Rensselaer County.
And that's just here. We're not even talking Columbia,
Yeah.
Green, and Washington, and all those
So,
connected.
On that map, have located legends for hiking trails, biking trails, public access for fishing, streams, swamps along the way, outcrops, viewing spots, stuff like that. I mean,
So visualizing, so you come through the lean-to room, you go into the ranger station, and you see the maps, okay?
Right.
Here's the resource, I wanna go hiking.
There's good
Maybe
stuff.
we'll break it down, novice, advanced trails,
we've already talked about.
locations, destinations, Pittston Forest, Tibbetts Forest, Berlin State Forest, Cherry Plains, and
Pittston State Forest, or Dalton, I think that's going to double in size. I mean, that's a good chunk of land.
what about Cherry Plains, the wildlife management?
That's a huge piece.
Isn't that gonna be the largest wildlife management unit in the whole state?
I believe it is. I believe it's
If everything goes through, yes.
just
it is.
over 14,000
Yeah.
acres in that alone.
That's beautiful terrain up there.
Yeah, that's, the woods up there, the elevation of the woods it's pretty much the same as it is where I hung up on. The trees are the same. The woods are the same there as the woods that I hung up on.
Yeah, a lot of old growth.
Yeah, it's a nice, it would be a nice thing, and I know we briefly talked about it. It'd be nice to put together like the 46ers do their 46 peaks.
Yep.
It would be nice to put together a local, and say we do something with the Capital District Sportsman. If you hit all these peaks, we do something. You get your name on a plaque, or you get your
Sort of.
That's
Or
something
something.
we work with
Something.
Range,
There's a lot of places, in one place, the snow bowl.
Yeah.
So
Right.
designated spots that people have to reach or complete.
sure.
So what would they do when they get there? Take a photo?
Or
We
beyond
have a journal.
our system. I'm all right with beyond our system. If you tell me you've been
Nah, I don't know about that. In all my years of law enforcement,
there.
that honor system's questionable.
Well, what we could do is we could have a list of questions.
I say a photo. We have a point they reach, and at that point, may be a marker, they have to take a photo and submit it.
Yeah, if we take a photo, it's gotta be in front of a certain tree.
Or something.
We'll have
so we
something
know
there.
they're there.
But it's also stuff we're gonna encompass the geocaching too.
Well, on all those trails, I'm sure if you look around, probably on a fair amount of those trails, there's already geocaches there.
Backing
Trying to
through,
get some questions or anything?
just backing through the snow hole, there's a lot of geocaches.
No,
Yeah.
just pay attention. There's no questions. There
Um,
was one and somebody already answered that.
Don't
Okay.
get any questions tonight, huh?
I know, everybody's quiet.
We also
Yeah.
talked about with maybe doing a tower, a radio tower,
To repeat.
repeater with a AM station, two-way radios.
It would be nice to have a ranger station here.
Yeah.
It's a pretty central part of the county.
Yeah.
You know, with all these lands that we're acquiring for it.
Yeah.
What are we doing for the hot topic?
Yeah, all right, so we talked about, we'll get to that. You're the hot topic. Knock it off.
So the
So the other classroom
Sorry.
that we want to start.
the root cellar. Cunningham.
That's your wheelhouse, finally.
See, now
Cunningham
you're-
Center.
You're on.
So yes, we want to do a root cellar. We've talked about a couple of these projects, obviously, for a couple months, but time's now moving forward. So, we've applied for a couple of donations to help bump some of these things along.
Hi, Robin.
But
Robin.
now you threw me off. So the room that we're going to do will have a door. This room and our room next door don't have a door with access to the outside, but the root cellar will, so that we can do the gardening, bring everything in. And so it's going to be growing, actually even before that, figuring out what to grow, what are good companion plants, making plots and charts of what grows well together, what you don't want to live together. And then, obviously maintaining the garden and harvesting, and then canning and preserving. So it's all going to just kind of tie in together.
We'll throw in a little bit of the eating part.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we like
yeah.
doing that. So along with that, some of that will also be, maybe a little further down the road, and find the right people to do it, would be wild edibles, mushrooms,
Yeah.
stuff growing in the wild.
Yeah, but definitely do an edibles class. Brian said he had
Yes.
somebody, and I think PJ, you said you knew
I
somebody.
have somebody that said they're willing to put on a class.
Yep, that would be fantastic to have that. But yeah, so taking advantage of anything, to get back to the basics.
Wild foods. There's a ton of them out there.
Yeah. The inside of cattails are really good.
Yeah.
They are very good.
So that's why the
They're
mushrooms.
protected, you can't forage them. I'm loading up my monthly
Well, they're,
ticket.
Yeah,
Between the honor system and that.
you can't pick a mushroom off state.
That's right, anymore.
What?
You used to be able to forage.
You can't pick. You can pick a mushroom on state land and consume it.
There. You
There.
can't harvest
So
them.
you can't harvest it and take it out.
Wow.
Which I've had that discussion before, but actually with no avail. I told him, I said, you know what? I said, I buy a license in New York State to hunt. I said, I don't forage for mushrooms, I hunt.
But you have a hunting license.
I've
I have
never
a
done
hunting license. It didn't,
Yeah.
I just thought I'd throw it out.
Throw it out there and see if it's stuck.
No, but you mentioned that, and like I walked People's Island this fall, late summer, and I like looking for mushrooms. Hen of the woods, turkey of the woods, chicken of the woods, all that, the pear-shaped mushrooms, and I was looking for them on People's Island, and I noticed you could see where they're all been ripped off, and so there's quite a few people out there foraging for mushrooms.
And that's another
Sure.
thing. And that's another thing for turkey season. There's certain mushrooms that come out then too. We'll call them for that, the turkey.
Yes. Now, a little more on the root cellar. These classrooms, like with the log cabin classroom, these are, a showcase, but they're classrooms that have to be usable. So
Interactive.
interactive classrooms. So when we talk about the lean-to, we want it to seem as though you're in that type of environment.
Sure.
Hiking, camping, snowshoeing, birds. We want all the state birds for identification. But these are also classrooms for education.
Yes.
The root cellar. Penny?
What?
Joke for the camera?
No, yeah.
So the root cellar, what do you envision? like you walk into a basement, you have shelving,
Well, yeah, there'll be some shelving, and then you'll have like a section where your supplies are that will tell you what
canning,
you do.
drawing.
But then, you're on the other side, you're gonna have your handheld gardening tools and things, your places to keep seeds and the sort station.
And so the interactive classroom for learning, the outside garden, and then we have a kitchen nearby.
And that's where hopefully we can do the canning and processing.
Okay. So we have 1, 2, and then we have a final classroom we're working on. It's going to be more related to fishing, fish identification, aquatics.
With a real good name for it.
Yeah, trout classroom.
Yeah.
Things in
Yeah,
there.
it'd be nice to have a tank here with trout.
Yeah.
Yep. Trout Unlimited is
That's a goal.
And the Western County Conservation Alliance is going to help with that. And,
Conservation Alliance has some interest in it also.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of stuff that's coming. It's
Can you
just,
write down the I'm sorry, just
there's,
ignore this conversation.
Sidebar.
the other thing we're gonna do is, kitchen.
Yes. That's another big.
The kitchen's a big project to do. We're still looking for that stove.
What is it, kind of Garland? Garland stove, 6 burner, double oven,
Yeah.
6, 8 burner.
Yeah, we need to be able to, we gotta go big. We've gone big with everything else.
Yeah.
So what are we
So-
talking? What do we want to do?
6-burner double oven and a griddle.
And the grill.
And a griddle.
Okay.
So,
Yeah,
yeah,
that could add.
there's a
That's
lot
what
of
I
work that needs to be done. Might come up this weekend.
Mike Roderick. Yep.
Yes. And and Terry, myself, between us three, we'll probably head up a lot of the construction part. But we're going to need a lot of help. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be done. There's a lot of plumbing that needs to get done. We're going to do the oven and the stove. We need an Ansel system. We're going to need, to all you propane suppliers that might be out here, we're going to need some gas. I think a nice tank out there in front of the CDSC building with your name on it is pretty good PR.
Yeah. Good PR. Route 2's right there.
So there's a lot of stuff that we need done that we're going to start knocking off here very, very, very soon.
Yeah. I want to go back to the classrooms. And this is, obviously what's our goal is education, involving people getting to the outdoors, the youth,
Youth is the most important.
and a special emphasis on urban youth.
Yes.
So we want to get these kids, and people talk about it, but we don't do it. Get them off the phones, away from the computers, off the couch, and get them out there and introduce them to things.
Show them something different.
So these classrooms are interactive classrooms where we could do field trips. So they go, they bring a group of kids, and they have to complete all 6 classrooms. And one trip will be an hour course for the root cellar. And they learn about that stuff.
Sure.
So they get a merit badge. You go to the cabin room, you learn about New York State mammals. Okay, hands-on, you touch the birds.
Beezer, he knew how to set up shows like that.
Yeah.
There was nothing at the Pioneer Fishing Game Club. When Beezer set up at an outdoor show or any type of event for kids, they need to have stuff in their hands.
They can't just
So
listen.
talk about Ed Chukuskis. He was, they call him Peaser. He was dedicated to education with the youth. And actually, before he passed, rest in peace, he was doing a lot at the old school, wasn't he? St. Mary's or somewhere?
They went up and they put on a couple shows up there at St. Mary's School.
Yeah.
Where they brought up, the furs, the skulls, just any. One of the things that I remember the most that he had, it looked like a duck's foot, and a few of you are going to know what I'm talking about. But what it actually was the leg bone on a snapping turn. And it used to stand up. And And it was just one of those things. When a kid comes through, they pick it up and say, "What's this?" And, and say, "Well, you can't guess what that is." And then all sorts of guess. You get all sorts of different stuff, But it was a leg bone from a snapping turtle. And just stuff like that, just different stuff.
But the point, something that comes to mind, Ed would wear his beaver vest when we did the outdoors show at the Hoosier Falls High School. But these guys, their history and knowledge, that stuff, he forgot more things than I'll ever learn.
It was amazing. I used to go to a lot of meetings with that, and we'd be in the car a lot. And I grew up right next to him, and the amount of stuff that he remembered, it was just. It was. I mean, he'd pull up stuff from 40 years ago and talk about it like it happened 2 days ago.
Yeah. Wealth of knowledge.
Yes.
One of my favorite stories is, I'm telling you, Woozy would. So Ed was driving around in Cherry Plains, and they had their windows down, and it was during hunting season.
It was probably
and they were listening for drumming. They were listening for the birds, for the drumming. They see if they could hear it. The partridge.
because they did some surveys.
Exactly. And so me, I'm engaged. I'm ready. It's hunting season. I'm looking for road hunters.
No.
And I didn't know who it was at the time, and I see him slow rolling down through Black River Road, and I came in like a condor, jumped out, and it's him sitting in the driver's window. I'm like, I knew I'd catch you. He's like, got it out. I go, I knew I'd catch you eventually. Oh yeah. I thought I had a big case. Didn't end up being much.
Face is red.
Oh, it's fun.
Geez, the amount of stories. I mean, we could go on and fill 2 hours with that.
What's his favorite? What's his saying about Hoosier Falls?
Oh, we went. He got Sportsman of the Year award through the New York State Conservation Council. So him and I went out there to accept the award. And I went out there with him, and we're in a room full of everybody wearing suits. And there's probably 150 people in this room. Well, he sees at the time, Duffy was
My old
the
director of law enforcement.
he was the director.
Yeah.
So Duffy sees him walking across the room. He goes, "Oh boy!" He said, "Look at who came here." And Peter yelled across the room. He said, "You keep your officers right out of Hoosier. There's nobody breaks the law." The whole room went quiet. It's funny. Funny stuff.
So getting back to the kids. So field trips. So we're talking about interactive, the root cellar, the cabin, the mammals. They can touch skulls and furs and learn. What's the New York State mammal? Anybody know out there? The biggest mammal? The biggest mammal you know now. What's the New York State mammal? What's the biggest mammal in New York State? They go into the lean-to room. We learn about the birds around New York. What's the state bird? What do birds do? Do they migrate? Which ones are songbirds? Simple stuff.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have a mount of every bird that comes through
Identification.
New York State.
Yeah.
We're going to be leaving on the trapper soon. I haven't told you guys yet. We need more fur.
The trappers, they do have a meeting coming up.
They're going to have a meeting up here the 8th.
February 8th. Okay.
I believe Dave's going to get a hold.
So then we go over to the fish. So then they go to the last room would be the fish identification, freshwater fish species in New York State. What's the state fish? Anybody? Come on, I know all these. You should know them. And so
I think it should be the perch.
the white perch.
It's one of the most delicious fish we have.
It should be the bull there. So if they complete, like we discussed, the groups for the hikes and the peaks. So for the kids to complete all courses in all the classrooms, we could have badges that coincide with
Our sponsorship
and
levels.
what are those levels?
Do you want just to
Just read the names, yeah.
Scout, Conservationist, Sportsman, Pioneer, Summit, Eagle, and the Golden Eagle.
So, once they complete, we could say like merit badges?
Yeah, it's it. You know, it's really about the kids. You know, and the more people we have involved up here, the better it's going to be.
More ideas, more input, more help,
That's right.
more everything.
More everything. I mean, we can build on this thing tremendously.
Very good.
We have groups that are already coming in on board.
Yes.
So in saying all this, we posted on the page a poll looking for people that are experienced in hiking, camping for the lean-to room, helping with Penny with the gardening, homesteading, all that stuff.
Yeah. I know we have some construction people out there. I'll be looking for you, and so will Derek.
Yep.
Yes, we will.
So
Along with
the
some plumbers.
kitchen.
Jesus Christ.
So reach out to myself, Penny, PJ on Facebook. We will be posting polls for looking for work, volunteers, and people to get involved. Things are picking up.
Yeah, things are happening fast. I mean,
Daily.
I think I was gonna say by summertime, but it's gonna happen before that. By the summer, we're gonna be. Are you giving a hint or something on?
What are you doing?
That's one of our new. We have to name our capital district sportsman bear. We haven't named them yet. So we're gonna be putting up a post to name the bear.
That's true. You do need a
We
name.
do need a name for the bear.
Yeah.
It is a
505 pounder.
We get Penny to make him sweat.
Yeah.
Yeah, in my
Maybe
spare
half.
time. In my spare time, I can whip
The
that
biggest
in.
thing to remember, guys, is that this center is all about, it's for the public.
You're back to
So-
the left.
That's the biggest thing to remember. All this stuff that's going on here, all this information, and all these groups that are going to be here, is all to help the public, help the kids, help you with the kids. All that information. There's going, the way this is headed now, there's going to be a ton of information under one roof.
One-stop education center. So to help us with that, keep us moving forward with what we want to do, we still have a few calendars available, not many, but we have a few calendars available. We just, we're going to order up some more of these knit hats.
The knit hats were
The hats are how much?
$20.
20 for these.
Yep.
The camouflage ball caps, you just put an order in for.
Another 48. We're out of them. So
Yeah,
we're gonna have 2 orders of 48. The knit
Yeah.
caps we had 300. We're only down to our last dozen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've got a few. Actually, Jack Shea, I need to bring you one to the diner.
Okay.
The hooded sweatshirts, we still have some of these available. Maybe we can make another order of those.
Do we have one?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, and that brings up a good.
I'll write it. Much.
That brings up a good point. We're talking about youth, and the youth track teams or youth shooting teams in schools is really starting to take off.
How many other teams? They had
But it's expensive.
a couple new teams just joined up in the area
There is a few.
this year.
These wreaths are made by the Berlin coaches. They're $60 a piece. And that really helps the kids. They donate their time to build them things, and all of the proceeds goes to buying clays and buying shelves.
So let's talk about the trap teams that we have in the county and what we're looking to do coming up.
For right now, in our county, we have Hoosick Falls has a trap team, a rifle team. Berlin has a trap team. Columbia, I believe, are in on trap now as well.
Yeah.
Lansingburg
Washington County, Argyle.
and Argyle, I think Granville, I believe, has a team as well. And on the page there the other day, I found out that Mahonson. So us is the way I envision this, and it might be a little far-fetched, but I don't think it is if we can get the right help. We need to do something to support these. if anything, you should go watch these youth shoot. It's very impressive.
It's a very fast-growing sport in the high schools.
It's
Very
the fastest growing high school sport in the country.
Safest too.
Huh?
Least injuries.
Yeah.
It's also the safest.
That's right.
And these kids are very professional. We went down.
We sponsored.
We sponsored.
It was the Falls Panthers against the Berlin as the Mountaineers,
Yes.
and they had a shoot, and we went down and promoted it. It was a good time.
Yeah, it was, and the coaches, they do a fantastic job. But as we all know, those shotgun shells
Are not cheap.
they're not free. So we need to do what we can to help support this.
So we had a conversation with some of the coaches. So we're going to be posting on the page. We're going to have a meeting at the Capital District Sportsman Center with trying to get the coaches from the current schools and people that are looking into a possibility of promoting it at their schools.
Right.
So we'll post. We're going to have a meeting and to discuss
I actually think
the game plan going
I
forward
Fundraising events.
in the shoot.
I think if we challenge those school kids,
Oh boy.
I think we can kick their butt.
Oh,
Oh,
oh my God. No high school kids going out shoot the game warden.
I've been shooting for
Yeah.
We'll have a team.
It's not that one target Chris
Yeah.
brought up that one time. And, that was pretty
I
impressive.
hope this video is an archive.
Yeah.
So we're running out of time here, winding up. Let's go back over our classes. What do we have coming up? Do you have something you want to add, Penny? She likes when I put her on the
She
spot.
might sit and laugh for a bit.
Yeah. Sneeze for everybody. It's entertaining.
So we
She's
are
got
going
most-
to have the compass.
Okay,
So
so Map and Compass Seminar,
Yes.
February 18th.
February 18th.
That's on the page now.
Yes, it is.
And it's already half full. It's a free class, so you better get on there in the next few days.
CDSC.education upcoming events.
Okay, so that's Map and Compass Seminar by Steve Jackson, Forest Ranger Jackson, and Don McCabe, February 18th. And then we're doing the
Snowshoeing is the very next day.
The
Um,
19th.
101.
and that is free as well. And
Yes.
Terry, you said Snowshoeing 101, right?
Snowshoeing 101.
Introductory to snowshoeing. Okay, it's not that easy, folks.
Now we're going to be looking, at some classes we cannot provide free. Down on the road, we're going to be looking for sponsors for classes.
Yeah.
So if we're holding a class that's kind of up your alley, please think about sponsoring it so we can make it free to the people that are attending.
Our biggest goal here is even the ones that we cannot provide for free is that kids are free.
Kids are always-
That is our
Kids are
biggest
always
thing.
free.
Kids
Kids
will
are
always be free.
17 and under are free for everything.
Yeah.
And then, of course, on April 9th,
The Turkey
Turkey 101.
Turkey 101, your favorite.
101.
And there'll be classes in between that too.
We're
just gonna schedule that one's
Believe
gonna
it
be
or not.
We have more on, but we're still, I believe Don's just going to finalize a few things on some of them. There's not going to be that big gap.
So right now, so the Turkey 101 is April 9th. Tyler Harrington with the Cook Hollow guys gang, Tony Rice, PJ, and Terry will be doing that class. And in the meantime, our projects will be the
homestead, the root cellar.
The root cellar.
Lean-to.
The
in
lean.
the lean-to room,
In the kitchen.
In the
in the
kitchen.
kitchen.
One other thing, is there any interest out there, and I'm sure we can put it together, would anybody be interested in a fur handling class? We know some people out there that I think if we twist a couple arms, we could get some people to, there's some very good fur handlers that are out there. If anybody has any questions or if there's some interest in that, I'm sure we could put something together.
And last note, if anybody is a teacher out there who has experience and wants to do a class themselves,
Yeah.
reach out to us.
Don McCabe, on all the flyers, his email's there. if you know something on a class that you're willing to teach, send out an email to Don.
Or if you guys have ideas of different classes that you would like to see here, shoot us a message.
Yep.
And we'll see what we can do to put it up together and see what we can find to teach it. And see where we can get it in the schedule.
Wraps up the hour. Last words of the night?
You're not done.
Oh, still waiting all night.
We're not
Still
done.
waiting all night.
We're not done.
I know she's got something up her sleeve.
She always has something.
So you're always to the left.
Always. You always sit this. You always sit down.
It's a position of authority. Oh,
So we brought you a gift.
Did Mike Partis put you up to this? Is Mike watching? Is Mike on? Oh, yeah. I already got my Christmas
It's
present.
not a Christmas
Oh,
present.
no, this is not Christmas.
Oh, boy. Put the whoopee cushion?
No, that would be good.
Oh, perfect.
In the wrap, see?
Oh, it's inside of it.
It looks like a shirt.
What's it say?
I don't know. All right. Good night, folks.
No, you're not gonna easy. No.
All right.
What's it
I
say?
embarrass myself.
Yeah.
I don't know what it says. I'm not even reading it. You want to read it?
Right to the left. Because pen is always right.
Oh, God.
You're gonna have to wear it.
There's no
On that note, we can go into the
I'm not looking in.
All right.
Last words. We're closing up. Get back there, Penny.
Now we're going in the right direction. We're going to be looking for you guys for some help here soon.
Yes. Several things going on.
Yep.
And we definitely are going to need some help, without a doubt.
Definitely going to need hands-on donations, sponsorships, all of it from beginning to end. So
But we're doing well. We have a lot going on, projects and classes we've been doing. I mean, we've had several classes this past year alone, and we're doing pretty well.
we
But-
generally have a lot of fun.
We're growing. We're taking on more groups and people.
We are doing extremely well as far as I'm concerned. The more people we can get involved, the more funds we have, the more we can do.
I do have a prediction. Penny won't be at the next cabin call. So, people, thanks again for tuning in.
Thank you, Route 66 again.
Route
Yes,
66
yes,
Smokehouse for that chili. Once again, live, Capital District Sportsman cabin from the town of Grafton, beautiful Rensselaer County. Thank you for tuning in. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.
Penny's in trouble.